The second entry in Level 5's RPG series, Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom, may be receiving yet another delay after the first brought the game to a January 2018 launch. According to reports from Best Buy customers, emails have been going out to those who pre-ordered the game stating that Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom will release on March 9th instead of January 19th. Bandai Namco has released no statement to confirm or deny the delay as of yet, so nothing is official until they do. The delay would make a lot of sense, as the early first quarter of next year is quickly filling up with big launches, like Monster Hunter World and Dragon Ball FighterZ. With the latter in particular, Bandai Namco publishing both Dragon Ball FighterZ and Ni no Kuni 2 might have prompted them to push back the RPG to avoid cannibalizing their own profits. As it stands, the game is still planned for a January 2018 release. Stay tuned to Gaming Bolt for further updates if this delay materializes. DICE's Star Wars Battlefront 2 currently has its Play First trial live on EA Access and Origin Access, and the full release in a week, so it seems like a good time to know how much the game's loot crates will cost. Though the game allows you to earn loot crates through regular play, it's also possible to purchase them with real money. You essentially purchase premium currency called crystals with real money, and these can be exchanged for loot crates. They come in packs ranging from $5 for 500 crystals to $100 for 12,000 crystals. EA Access subscribers get a 10% discount, so that'll be $4.50 for 500 crystals and $90 for 12,000. The different kinds of crates include Hero, 110 crystals, Trooper, 200 crystals, and Starfighter crates, 120 crystals. Each contains 1 or 2 star cards, crafting parts, and items like emotes, victory poses, weapons, etc. On the whole, $100 should net you something like 60 crates. DICE has made changes to its loot crate system recently, like locking epic cards behind crafting, locking crafting behind one's rank, locking the best weapons behind milestones, and whatnot. We'll see how that works out when Star Wars Battlefront 2 releases on November 17th for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. It looks like work on Sony's movie adaptation of the popular Metal Gear Solid franchise still continues. The latest report on the rumor vine? Derek Connolly, the man who wrote Jurassic World, the uber-successful reboot of the classic film franchise, as well as its upcoming sequel, will be working on the script for Metal Gear Solid as well. This is according to a report by Variety. As of right now, there's been no official confirmation from either Sony or Connolly himself. Nonetheless, there is nothing about the report that is unlikely either. On the other hand, Connolly, while great at penning movies that find huge commercial audiences and success, hasn't shown himself to be capable of much nuance, most egregiously visible in Jurassic World, so it's unclear if he would be able to capture all the texture and depth that Metal Gear is known for underneath its absurd antics. Hopefully he can, and hopefully he ends up writing the first really good video game movie in the process. Rockstar Games have been known for their quality, compelling single-player campaigns that create infinitely detailed worlds for players to lose themselves in for dozens of hours. Nonetheless, Rockstar's biggest success to date has been GTA Online, the free-to-play microtransaction-funded online component of GTA 5 that has become the enduring reason for the game's continued success. And even as the rhetoric around microtransactions continues to get toxic, it sounds like the upcoming Red Dead Redemption 2 will probably have them. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick said in a recent financial call that the company earned 42% of its revenues thanks to microtransactions last quarter, so this is something they're looking at going forward. We aim to have recurrent consumer spending opportunities for every title we put out at this company. It may not always be an online model, it probably won't always be a virtual currency model, but there will be some ability to engage in an ongoing basis with our titles after release across the board. The good news is that the way it's worded, it could just as meaningfully apply to single-player expansions and DLC well after the game's release, much like what GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption got. But considering the relative sustained success of GTA Online compared to those games, we're not sure we want to be that optimistic about this either. Red Dead Redemption 2 will launch on PS4 and Xbox One in the second quarter of 2018. CD Projekt Red has spoken about its plans for the future of the Witcher franchise, noting that while it will probably return to the world of The Witcher again sometime in the future, it will definitely not be with The Witcher 4. That story arc is firmly finished and concluded. Speaking to Strefa Inwestero and translated by IGN Poland, CD Projekt CEO Adam Kaczynski noted that the company still owns the IP, meaning more games in the universe are likely to come from them, but the story of the original trilogy, as envisioned, is done, so they will not be doing follow-ups to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. He noted that not making a new Witcher game would basically end up being irresponsible, as both fans and investors would be disappointed if they didn't. They have, of course, every reason to make a new game in the Witcher universe. Wild Hunt was a stunning success, ending up as one of the most acclaimed games of all time and selling over 6 million copies worldwide, and they'd be foolish to stop it at that. Hopefully, the next Witcher game, whatever it is, ends up being as compelling as Wild Hunt was. With the launch of any new hardware, there will always be glitches and complications. This has been true for iPhones, iPads, new Android phones, and previous home consoles, from the PS3 to PS4 to Xbox One to Nintendo Switch to, most famously, the Xbox 360. So of course, there are some Xbox One X units out there in the wild that are coming down with inexplicable problems too. As a thread on Reset Era seems to be tracking, some users are reporting that their systems are dying within a few hours of usage, and by dying, they mean completely unusable. Now, it's extremely important to remember that this is not representative of all Xbox One X units. This is a fringe problem that is affecting only some systems and might correlate to a bad production batch. Nonetheless, hopefully, Microsoft issues an official statement and addresses the problem soon, so that those affected can get working systems again. After all, you wouldn't want to spend $500 on a new console and then be unable to use it, right? Though the Xbox One X recently launched and the PS4 Pro has been in circulation for over a year now, the next set of consoles may not be all that far off. In a recent investors call via GameSpot, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot said he believes the next PlayStation and Xbox consoles are a minimum of 2 years away. He made sure to clarify that this is just the company's opinion and not the result of confidential information that he's currently holding. As Sony launched the PlayStation 4 Pro last year and Microsoft Xbox One X this year, we think we still have a minimum of 2 years in front of us before something new is coming. But that's our perception. We don't have any confidential information on that front. Guillemot also said the updates that are being made with consoles like the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X will ultimately help the industry. He feels that this gives more power to developers that will ultimately result in better games. We really like the fact that Sony and Microsoft are really putting more power in their machines, using the evolution of technology to give power to our developers to create better games for our players. That's going in the right direction, rather than trying to do accessories or other things. That's going to help the industry a lot because the games will be really beautiful on those machines. Ubisoft noted during the same earnings call that revenues on the Nintendo Switch have been pretty significant and that it would be investing more into the console for the future. The company teamed up with Nintendo to deliver Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, a tactical turn-based strategy RPG with exploration that garnered strong critical praise. What other titles we can expect remains to be seen, but it's good to see more developers taking an interest in the Switch. Rocksteady have been working on something big for a while. Gaz Deves, a member of the development team, recently teased that their next big game will make people lose their minds. But what are they exactly working on? Could they be working on a new Superman game? Seems a bit unlikely, as it would be tricky to translate his powers, including flying, into a game, but this is Rocksteady we're talking about, and they might be the best studio right now who could do justice to the Superman franchise. And this is apparently what they're working on, if a report by Comic Book is to be believed. According to the website, the next issue of Game Informer will bring news of a new Superman game that is allegedly being developed by Rocksteady Studios. The website further states that the game will be massive in scope and will blow away players with its intricate details. As usual, take this report with a grain of salt, but what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. That'll be it for this video. If you like what we're doing, please go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.